Good afternoon, everybody. Niko House here. Coming to report to you that there is an emergency at Standing Rock. Now, many of you know there was a major victory with the Army Corps of Engineers denying the permit. But unfortunately, right after that happened, the weather got much worse in North Dakota. As many of you know, Jeff Day, and Josh Goldfeder went to Standing Rock recently to report on the events, to get a closer outlook on what happened, to help out, just to tell their story and give them a chance to tell it. And it was miserable. It was a blizzard. It was supposed to be a few inches of snow. It ended up being nearly a foot. And now the weather has gotten worse. It's -20. People are getting sick. People are getting hypothermia. Cars are being stuck, and people can't stay in the cars because the snow is covering the tailpipes. And if you leave your car on, obviously, as people will want to do naturally to keep themselves warm, it would actually be very dangerous. So they're relocating. From what I've heard, people say that they're getting on buses and going to the casino. There hasn't been any word yet as to when they'll return, but there is, in fact, an emergency. And they are not at the camp anymore, so keep them in your thoughts. If you pray, keep them in your prayers. But don't stop fighting. I also want to address one other thing. For those of you who constantly profess that there is no victory because the Army Corps of Engineers, because Energy Transfer Partners plans on drilling anyway, need to understand one thing. If we are going to win a war, then we must recognize and appreciate the spoils of battle and the victories that we have along the way. No war was ever won with one sweeping victory. Yes, many of us are aware that if need be, they will try to dig anyway. Many of us are aware of the fines that they will face, but obviously they will probably pay if the government does not stop them from digging. Many of us are aware that they do need to stay at Cannonball as much as humanly possible. Obviously right now is an exception, but we're still aware that they do. No one has said go home. No one has said we're done. No one has said stop fighting. Not one of us has said that. But there are people who have put hours of labor. A woman has lost her arm. A woman has lost her eye. It's out of the eye socket. People have been shot. People are stuck. People have lost their jobs. They've left their houses, their homes, their families to come to Standing Rock and fight for these victories. What that has showed us is that we still have some influence over our government, if nothing else. That our voices are still mighty, and that our voices are still powerful, and that if we unite, we can force people and we can force the government to do what we want them to, even if they don't want to. We are making it difficult for them to get things done that we don't want done. Has it stopped it? Probably not. But it is a victory nonetheless, and that is a victory that we have every right to celebrate after all of the work that the indigenous and people who have supported the indigenous have put in. We have many more battles to fight going forward. But let's not mistake not being finished with the war with losing a battle. Because as of right now, we have won the battle. And we have many more battles to fight. But let's use our victory as motivation to go forward. Let's not harp on the negative truths and the facts that we aren't done yet, because we are aware. We are awake just as much as you are. We know we're not done. But let's celebrate victory, and then let's move forward. Send your thoughts and your prayers to the indigenous at Standing Rock. The more I get updated, the more I will update you all. Have a good afternoon.